So yeah, what is up guys, Ghost here, and today I got you guys all a Call of Duty tier list here. So a lot of y'all have been requesting me to do this. This is my first time actually doing a tier list type of video. So we're gonna be ranking the multiplayer with all of these Call of Duties. If there's say like another type of tier list you want to see with COD, then let me know down below in the comments section. But our options are God tier, amazing, good, average, bad, awful, would rather watch paint dry, or never play it. So let me know down below in the comment section, what would you guys rank these Call of Duty? Make your own tier list with these same options here with the God tier, amazing, good, and so on and so forth, and put whatever CODs that deserve that spot. I'll leave the website down below in the description just so you can go ahead and make your own tier list here. Actually, make your tier list, right? And go ahead and save the image of it and tweet it to me, or join my Discord and put it in my Memes and Media Discord channel just so I can see what your guys' tier lists are looking like. My Twitter and Discord will be in the description as well. Anyways, let's go and get right into this. So with the first three Call of Duty, I actually really never played through them, you know, that's the thing, because I started playing COD back in 2010 with Modern Warfare 2, so I'm gonna put the first three Call of Duties to never played, sadly. Alright, so we're just gonna start off with Call of Duty 4, and we're gonna base the multiplayer off of a few different aspects. Alright, we're gonna base it off of how great the gun variety was, how great the score streaks were, how amazing or trash the maps were, and also the DLC season if said COD did have a DLC season. Alright, so with Call of Duty 4 at its time in 2007, yeah, it was a very revolutionary game, and it was at its core pretty great. However, comparing it to CODs nowadays and what we're so used to having and just how it evolved since 2007, it's so like bare bones and so vanilla and plain to the point where it's just too outdated for me, and I just don't like it all too much. The guns were pretty cool. I rock with the guns. The maps were so hit or miss. I hated playing on those trash maps like Block and Overgrown. I personally was not a fan of a lot of the maps. Obviously, this game only had 3 kill streaks, so it was just bare bones since it was the first COD to ever have streaks. And I'm gonna put it as an average Call of Duty. I know some people may be like, what? But hey, it's just my tier list and my experience and whatever. But next up with the World at War, it's honestly kind of the same story with it. It's very hard to go back and play this Call of Duty because it feels so drastically old and outdated. The maps were alright, but again, some of them were just way too big. The guns were kind of boring. There was only a handful of weapons that I did like, such as the PPSH, Gewehr, STG, and you know, but I say World at War, I'm gonna put it as average. So now let's move on to Modern Warfare 2, and I feel as though from now till the rest of the video, this is gonna be actually fair because we got so many other things to base the game off of instead of it being so bare bones and so simple like COD 4 and World at War. So with MW2, the maps were iconic. So many great maps like Favela, Scrapyard, Terminal, High Rise, Rust. The maps were a big W. The gun variety was actually insane. There were so many great guns here. Every weapon was like overpowered because of stopping power. With the kill streaks, of course, this was the first COD to actually introduce selectable kill streaks like the Tactical Nuke, AC-130 Chopper Gunner. Amazing kill streaks. Just overall, this game was a W. However, of course, it's a W flawed with so many broken aspects, including Commando Pro, one-man army danger close noob tubes, so many glitches and bugs. So with this game, I'm gonna put it as good because it could have been amazing. It could have been God tier if those things were actually fixed and the game was updated. So next up, we do got Black Ops 1 right here. And by the way, if you are brand new to the channel, it would mean a lot if you do consider to subscribe, because I upload pretty much every Call of Duty here on the channel, all the classic CODs. So for sure, subscribe for more of this classic COD content here. And with Black Ops 1, this was a very memorable game for me. The maps were incredible, from Nuketown to Launch to Firing Range, Jungle. Yeah, the maps were pretty solid. The guns were actually kind of hit or miss, not gonna lie. This was more or less an assault rifle dominant game from the AK-47, the Galil, Commando. The SMGs were very mid, to be honest. The kill streaks in Black Ops 1 were actually incredible, from the attack dogs, the Blackbird, the chopper gunner, W streaks. I know we're only focusing on multiplayer, but zombies was a major W too. It was so fun and memorable and iconic in Black Ops 1. So with Black Ops 1, I put it as amazing. So next up with Modern Warfare 3, you either hate this game or you love it to death. And this game for me brought in so many memories. You can't forget about the party modes like Infected just, oh my gosh, it was the best, because mixing Infected with the maps was just great. The maps were, I swear, built for Infected. Playing Infected on Dome, Terminal, Seatown, Hardhat, Arcaden, dude, these maps were so good, not only just for Infected but just regular TM or Domination. Yeah, there were some pretty trash maps like Downturn or Interchange. We won't talk about that. Overall, pretty solid maps. For the kill streaks, they were okay. I loved how they were. There was a support, assault, and then of course specialist. Specialist was a brand new addition where you got all the perks once you get that specialist bonus and all the weapon proficiencies. So that was actually a W in my books. And for the gun variety, yeah, this game had some very good gun variety, from the ACR, Scar L, G36C, the MP7. Yeah, people really did abuse the MP7 and ACR, but that's what made the game fun, using the broken things, the Akimbo FMG9s, the Striker. These guns were so good for Infected too. The DLC season was kind of hit or miss, not gonna lie, but it was very fun when they did add face-off. 1v1ing your friends, or even split screening with your friends on those face-off maps. Man, the memories. So not gonna lie, I'm gonna put MW3 as God tier. So next up we do got Black Ops 2, and speaking about this game, I actually recently made a video on how Black Ops 2 is a one-of-a-kind Call of Duty, kind of like a retrospective video of breaking down a lot of elements of the game, from even the trailers leading up to the game's launch, and also the DLC trailers and everything you can think of in Black Ops 2. Check the video out in the description. But I feel as though this game had it so great back in the day, and even now, just 12 years later, this game still holds up. The DLC season for this game was actually so incredible. From the multiplayer maps to the zombie maps, yeah, the DLC was one of the greatest DLC drops and seasons of all time. The score streaks in Black Ops 2 were incredible. This was, I feel as though, the peak of kill streaks, from the K9 units, Swarm, Orbital VSAT, the Lodestar, absolutely god tier streaks. The weapons, iconic. The Ballista, DSR, AN94, Scar H, MP7, MSMC, so many of everyone's favorite guns in Call of Duty here. The maps, from the base maps to the DLC maps, yeah, this game's maps were so memorable, and just overall, there's really not that much bad I could say about Black Ops 2. Nowadays, people would just say this game is overrated as hell, but I'd rather much go to a COD like Black Ops 2 compared to a COD like MW2 nowadays, like the new MW2. So I'm putting Black Ops 2 as God tier, to be honest. So next up, we got Call of Duty Ghosts right here. This is a pretty controversial COD, because back in the day, everyone shat on it. Everyone hated it. But if you ask people nowadays, oh, COD Ghosts wasn't that bad. Oh, I kind of miss COD Ghosts. Oh, I wouldn't mind COD Ghosts too. And it's like, man, what was that energy back then? You know what I mean? But I feel as though my opinion on the game has always been the same. You know, it's been hit or miss for me. The maps, man, the maps are so, not gonna lie, dumpster fire. There were some hidden gems, yeah, like Sovereign, Warhawk, Strike Zone. But overall, the base maps were so unplayable. Siege, bro, what is that map? Stonehaven? Why? It's just too big. Chasm? Don't even get me started. They just were so bland, and it was so hard to find enemies. It was like you're playing hide and go seek on every one of the maps on COD Ghosts. If the time limit would be reached so many times before the score limit on these huge maps. However, the DLC maps were actually amazing. These are some of the best DLC maps and some of the most creative maps ever. I actually made a whole entire video going over the secret kill streaks in Call of Duty, because you can actually be Michael Myers, the Predator from those movies on the CoD Ghosts maps. A lot of those maps did have those secret map-based kill streaks, so if you want to see what all of them look like, I have the video down below in the description. If the DLC maps of CoD Ghosts were the base maps, not gonna lie, this would have been one of the better and best CoDs, for me at least. The kill streaks, man, they were average, definitely very average. The gun variety, you know, the guns were pretty powerful, but people only used the honey badger, you know. The guns could have been better, but I hate to do this to you, Call of Duty Ghosts, but I'm gonna put you to average. You could have been at that good spot if the DLC maps were the base maps, and if certain things were changed about it, but campers definitely ruin this game with their IEDs and thermal M27s. Moving on to Advanced Warfare, this was pretty much when millions of players just left Call of Duty because they added jetpacks. Just right off the bat, when you hear jetpacks in CoD, people just don't care. They just think it's absolute trash. But Advanced Warfare did have some pretty cool things with it. The maps were actually so good, not gonna lie. The maps were very, very fun. They also did have those map-based kill streaks as well, which is pretty cool. The guns were actually very trash if you had no variants. All right, this game did have those weapon variants behind supply drops, you know, those sought after elite guns like the Bal 27 Obsidian Steed, ASM1 Speakeasy, HBR3 Insanity. Yeah, that's another factor that people either loved or hated, because people would consider this game to be pay to win, since those guns are all kind of RNG. You never know which variant or what thing you're gonna get behind supply drops. So some people still to this date have never gotten the Obsidian Steed or some variants ever. They were fun, but it was more or less of a gimmick and unbalanced gameplay, but it was kind of fun sometimes. The kill streaks were so bland and trash. I mean, it was kind of cool having different modules, which modules are pretty much attachments that you can put on your streaks. It was a cool idea, but the streaks were very poor and just not that good. So with Advanced Warfare, I'm just gonna put it as just average, because the gameplay was just very unbalanced, and you just couldn't get what you want out of supply drops. It was fun here and there. I have great memories on this game, but in the grand scheme of things, man, it was more of like a meme. It was just kind of a COD where they just tested things with, you know? Alright, so with Black Ops 3 right here, this is kind of where COD really redeemed itself from Advanced Warfare. The BO3 DLC season was very solid, I feel like. There are some hit or miss DLC maps. The zombies maps were actually incredible here. I enjoyed Black Ops 3's story with zombies so much. For the multiplayer, alright, there were some things that I hated, like, yeah, this game brought back supply drops and weapons behind supply drops, the whole entire RNG factor, how you never know what you're gonna get, and it's kind of unfair with the gameplay. Yeah, that kind of was pretty terrible, but it still was fun. It was just like a double-edged sword with that, but the guns overall were pretty balanced, and they were very fun to use in Black Ops 3. The base maps were pretty fire. I feel like they were pretty. There's some pretty memorable maps in Black Ops 3. Hunted, Combine, Evac. I didn't mind the maps in BO3 at all. The score streaks weren't as good as Black Ops 2, but they were still pretty good. The Raps, Mothership, a GI Unit, the Hater. Yeah, they were pretty solid score streaks. I have so much playtime on Black Ops 3. I have 50 days alone in the multiplayer, and about I think 11 or 12 in zombies. So this game for me is one of the better and best Call of Duties. I feel like just as a whole, if you just look at it from multiplayer and zombies, this game offers a lot to everybody. I feel as though, especially with Zombies Chronicles. Yeah, so I'm gonna put Black Ops 3 actually with the amazing tier alongside with Black Ops 1. So the next Call of Duty is one of the most controversial ones ever, Infinite Warfare. It's one of the most hated CODs, and at one point, of course, the reveal trailer for this game was the second most disliked video ever on YouTube out of the hundreds of millions of videos on the platform. This freaking Call of Duty trailer was the second most disliked one. That's how much people hated the fact that COD went back to another futuristic time and era. So that's how much people hate jetpacks. But this game just came out at the wrong time. I'm not gonna lie. This game just came out at the wrong time. If they would have released, you know, this game nowadays, I don't think people would have minded. What do you guys think? This game, though, man, it was fun. The movement system was pretty smooth, and I liked it better. The movement better than Black Ops 3's. The maps were pretty good, but they weren't memorable. The guns were okay, but not memorable. And just everything with this game, it just wasn't memorable. You know, it was left to the dust, sadly. Same with the DLC. Man, I guess I'm gonna put this Call of Duty. It's hard. I really don't know. Maybe at the average tier. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like an average COD. So next up, we got MWR. Modern Warfare Remastered came out alongside with Infinite Warfare. And it's the same thing as COD 4, but it uses the Advanced Warfare engine, which I hate. And it has new DLC guns, new DLC maps, and I feel like the player base really ruined this game for me. The way people play Modern Warfare Remastered just shocks me. I just can't believe those are real players that are actually playing this video game, sitting in corners, sitting in bushes, not moving. I get it's COD 4, that's kind of how it was played, but it's just so trash for me. I hate the experience of this game, and just the way it feels on the Advanced Warfare engine, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel as smooth as the original COD 4. So for me, I despise the remastered version of this game. I would rather watch paint dry than freaking put hours into this game, even a few matches of this. Next up with Call of Duty World War II, this game when it first came out was actually pretty awful in my opinion. There's so many things that they changed about Call of Duty with this game that it just didn't even feel right. It was such a downgrade compared to many of the CODs with so many aspects. And the one thing that was so trash and still is about this game is the maps. Yeah, the maps of COD World War II are so forgettable, boring, the way that they're designed, it's just not good at all. I'm not sure how they went from very good maps in Advanced Warfare to very poorly designed bland maps in the Call of Duty World War II. The guns, they were pretty cool actually. Yeah, this game had so many guns. It was crazy. So many DLC weapons, guys. They kept adding in guns even after the game was done, you know, launching and after the life cycle of it. The score streaks were pretty bland. Granted, it's World War II era COD, so obviously, I guess they're kind of limited with that. The DLC season was so forgettable and terrible for me. I mean, they did have some pretty cool events with the headquarters. I loved the headquarters actually so much. It was such a great idea in my opinion, at least. That's kind of what gave the game, you know, I guess some type of personality, but man, at its core, it can be fun sometimes. I just think overall it's a bad Call of Duty. With Black Ops 4, the one thing that I really just despised and hated with this game was the specialist characters, because not only you have the weapons to deal with, you have the specialist abilities too. So it was just a disgusting cluster of inconsistent gameplay. Literally inconsistent gameplay, man. You never know what specialist ability or weapon's gonna be coming around the corner, and it's frustrating. I get how, yeah, everyone has specialists, weapons, and abilities, but man, who wants to get killed by those inconsistent anomalies every single game, you know? I don't want to go up against a freaking one-shotting Annihilator or get stunned by Prophet's meep drone, or go up against people that have that could literally just fry you from another side of the wall with that heat wave ability, or just anything that one-shots you out of nowhere. It's just so inconsistent. I hate that aspect, but like, aside from that, the gunplay was pretty fun and good, you know? If this game didn't have specialists, I feel as though this would have been a god tier COD. But I just simply think it's a good Call of Duty that could have been amazing. The maps were pretty great. but the DLC maps were trash. It's just a good Call of Duty that had potential in my opinion. So now moving with Modern Warfare, this game stripped away so many things that made Call of Duty, especially that community aspect, you know, the fact of how you get lobby disbanded after every single match. It's so depressing. You know, because that was the thing with COD back then. You used to play in the same matches in games every single match sometimes, and it was fun going up against the same players that you went up against the last match, and the trash talking, the game chat, that whole entire social aspect was kind of ruined because the lobby would disband after every single game. And I think part of it was because of the skill-based matchmaking, which, yeah, it was definitely noticeable sometimes in MW 2019. However, like, this game has so many redeeming factors, from the entire, you know, new engine with the sounds of the game, the graphics of the game, the capabilities of all the different like things that the new engine could push for MW 2019. It was a great feeling, and I guess a refreshing revitalization, I feel as though, for Call of Duty, in my opinion. You know, the only thing that kind of one of the only things that killed the game was the maps too. The maps were so hit or miss, so many disgusting, trash, huge maps that slowed the gameplay down. The players were so afraid to freaking move in the beginning of this game's life cycle, even nowadays. And I hate that about COD. I hate the way players play the game, you know? People say don't hate the game, hate the player, or vice versa, whatever. In this game, you hate the player. It's the player, but then again, some parts of the game, it's just it's a little mix of both. It's so hard. Aside from all of those, you know, things though, MW 2019 was fun. It definitely brought so much back. The movement was so freaking buttery smooth. The guns were awesome. The gunsmith system was so cool. The score streaks were okay. And man, this game, I'm gonna put it with MW2 and Black Ops 4 as a good Call of Duty. It could have been God tier. It really could have been. So next with Call of Duty Mobile here, the thing is with this, I actually really never gave into this game all too much and played it 24/7 like the other CODs, but at its core, I love the idea of COD Mobile. I love how it's kind of like your best of Call of Duty with so many aspects from other CODs into this game. You know, I like that a lot. I just wish this game was released on consoles and for PC. I know you can use a PC emulator, but I just wish there was an actual COD called Call of Duty, which was the same thing as Call of Duty Mobile, that had a best of everything running on like maybe the MW 2019 engine or even the Black Ops 2 engine. I don't even know, but this game overall, yeah, it's actually amazing for what it is. However, you know, this game is pretty expensive with the things that are in the game. It's a free game at its core, yeah, but obviously since it's free, a lot of the bundles and whatnot are expensive as hell. That's obviously what you expect from a free mobile game, but it's a very amazing concept. Next up with Warzone right here, I was never a fan of Warzone at all back in the day. With Verdansk, I know people love it so much. They have this nostalgia and they have these memories with Verdansk, but I never was a fan of it. I never gave in to play it too much because I just don't like battle royales. I just don't like the idea of how you spawn in, right? You land wherever, and then sometimes the moment you land, you just die and you have to keep restarting. And I just hate the inconsistency of battle royales, you know, with that, especially with the the normal Warzone. However, Rebirth Island and those Resurgence maps, yeah, I like Resurgence, but I just didn't play it as much back in the day. I missed out on Rebirth Island, and people loved that map. People loved it to death, and I just wish I would have experienced it. So I really can't have a say with Warzone and Resurgence. I know it's great, but I guess I'm gonna have to put it at like really never played, because I really never played it. All right, moving on to Black Ops Cold War. This game is, I feel as though, one of the cheapest and laziest Call of Duties ever. Just the way the guns feel, the guns sound, the maps, it just doesn't feel like a good Call of Duty. It just feels like a knockoff of a Black Ops game. You know, I like the whole entire time era and theme of it. You know, at its core, there's so many things from the original Black Ops into this game. I like that. I definitely love how there's a lot of Black Ops 1 guns, Black Ops 1 kill streaks, and even Black Ops 1 and 2 maps. But just the feeling of this game, and also skill-based matchmaking too, and the way it was kind of similar to MW 2019. I feel like because it was taking so many aspects from MW 2019, it just didn't have its own identity, you know what I mean? And I just was not a fan of Black Ops Cold War. I think this is a very awful Call of Duty in my opinion. I know people love this game, but I just think it's terrible. Now, how could it possibly get worse from here? Yeah, Vanguard actually exists. I'd rather watch paint dry. This game is just so boring to me. Kind of like how I was mentioning with Black Ops Cold War, how this game didn't have an identity. Yeah, Vanguard was basically a Modern Warfare 2019, but with the World War II theme, pretty much. And the fact that you could put 10 attachments on every gun is actually kind of insane. You know, sometimes it's fun to load up on all those attachments. It's fun to use some of those World War II era weapons in this MW 2019 engine. It's cool. I like the idea, but it's just a boring Call of Duty for me. You know, there's some things I don't mind about Vanguard, but it's just so boring and bland. It's so forgettable, to be honest. There were some cool events like the Godzilla and King Kong event. Yeah, there were some cool bundles and whatnot, but dude, it's just not a good Call of Duty. So moving on, we do have CoD Online and Modern Warfare 2 left. All right, so CoD Online, I never played it, so it's gonna go right there too. Never played. It's that Chinese Call of Duty, kind of like how CoD Mobile is the best of CoD with so many maps from other CoDs and so many guns from other CoDs. That's what CoD Online is. You know, if this game was released for consoles, yeah, this would have been probably a god tier game. But anyways, with MW2, the new Modern Warfare 2, this was supposed to be a massive step up from MW 2019. You know, some things, yeah, it was a pretty good step up and good innovation, but other things, which most things in this game, I feel as though was a downgrade from MW 2019. Man, this game has potential. It really does. Sometimes it's so fun to play. It really is. But other times, skill-based matchmaking just ruins it. And I think, honestly, at this point, we've just gotten too many Modern Warfare games, just as we've gotten too many Black Ops games. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna put this, as of right now, at man, it's between average or bad. I'm just gonna put this as an average Call of Duty that could have been actually good. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much my entire Call of Duty tier list right there. What do you guys think? I know a lot of y'all are gonna hella disagree with some of these, you know, but it's just my opinion and my views and my experiences with each Call of Duty. Again, I've been playing COD since 2010, since I was 11 years old. So yeah, make sure you guys tweet me your tier list or put it in my Discord server. Again, those will be linked down below in the description, and make sure you guys do subscribe for more of this classic COD content, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
They're on the train.
Kill us! Just go past, No! Oh, okay, never mind.
Just fucking jumped out, Jesus. Ghost jumped on, Jesus. Jack's gonna die. No, Jack! Oh!
I got bombs up, bro!
Jump up right now,
He's right there,
Oh!
He's died.
Aim assist of hell!
Did I team wipe an entire team on the train?
I think so, yeah.